Going on, Degenerates? This is Zach. Welcome to Gin and Sofa. Sit back and enjoy.
All right, Zach, I got a question for you. So you and I have a lot of similar music tastes, but we never really have the same favorite band. So I'm kind of curious, what is the timeline of like, this is my favorite band? I'll give you an example. All right. Like my first favorite band was Matchbox 20. And then like after a couple of years, I mean, it was my first concert. They were awesome in like, I don't know, 1997.
Sure.
But like my first favorite band was Matchbox 20. And then a couple of years later, I started listening to like Blink 182, like Cheshire Cat and stuff. And I think for a while it was like Blink 182. And then after that, I got really into Brand New. And you know how long that probably lasted. And then now I guess it's The National.
Okay.
So like I've only had four maybe favorite, you know what I mean?
Sure.
What about you? Like, what is your progression of like, this is my favorite band?
I mean, I'm surprised you can remember.
I think it's because like it was my first show, so I'm like, that must have been my favorite band.
Was there like something that was like, yeah, like, is this a retroactive look back on like,
Yeah.
I guess this is my band?
Yeah, like I didn't have like Matchbox 20 like posters on my
Yeah,
wall.
just Rob Thomas.
Yeah. But I did like really love that album, and it was always in my CD player. So I'm like, looking back, I guess Matchbox 20 was my favorite band when I like.
Yeah, I mean, because I feel like you could be like, say a band's your favorite, and then like, is it? Like maybe you don't listen. Also, like, I find it's so hard to say like your favorite band. It's one fucking band.
I agree.
But,
I agree.
Like,
and there's always like favorites for like a month.
Yeah, they definitely go through like trends or fads. You know? I mean, okay, so like definitely the longest time has been Metallica.
Okay.
And it's probably as far back as I can remember, because, I mean, hell, dude. Before, like, honestly, before you're a teenager, I think you don't really have...
Yeah, it's whatever your parents chose to put, yeah.
Like, I'm telling you, I used to remember my mom playing, Collective Soul or, like, Offspring Smash a lot, and...
Your mom has good taste in tunes.
That was the 90s.
Yeah, everyone had good taste in tunes.
They couldn't really miss when they put the radio music on in the 90s.
That's true.
Because sometimes it was Semi-Chart Kind of Life,
Yeah.
Radio, and you're like,
a lot of heavy hitters.
Yeah, 90s. Side note, the 90s ruled
in
music. Okay, so, and I think, like, I would get my dad's CDs and stuff, because he had an ass load of CDs and cassettes, right? And of course, the cassettes were always the older shit, the Bon Jovis, the Van Halen's and Kiss and shit, and like it's weird because I feel like a lot of times it was like like you said, what was played in your parents' car.
Yeah, exactly.
And like I guess like every now and then they would get some album and just play the shit out of it, like Wedding Singer, the soundtrack. That shit was on repeat all the time.
Which one would have that on there? Your mom or your dad?
That was my mom.
that was all Sharon.
Yeah, and then like I think at some point they got like a Kiss greatest hits, and we listened to Kiss for like a month straight. Like it's like she's like remembered that she liked Kiss, and she's like, oh yeah, these are all good songs. Fucking, we're gonna listen to this all. But I remember getting like Metallica from my dad, like the CDs, and like really like enjoyed it, and was embarrassed to tell people that was my favorite band.
Yeah.
Because when we were in middle school and stuff, everyone was listening to like Eminem and...
Yeah. Like the cool kids were listening to
Missy
like...
Elliott and,
Missy Elliott rules.
And then by the time we were in high school, it was like 50 Cent and Kanye. And, all this shit coming out. And, and like... And of course, butt rock was big, right?
Creed.
Limp Bizkit. Seether. 3 Days Grace. I don't know. So like I'm always like, oh man, you hear that new Linkin Park bet? And I'm like, man, dude, I'm just listening to Load and Reload Metallica, and I'm just like, what? Like because it's like so what is weird with I guess people, especially when you're young, is like you could talk to Daniel. He likes Merciful Fate and stuff. You said, right?
Yeah.
He likes, and a lot of people you could talk to like that kind of stuff. They like Black Sabbath and everything. But they say it now. late 20s, early 30s, they're like,
yeah.
I really like this stuff. It's really good. It's influential. But if you asked him, probably when he was 15, he'd never admit it.
I see what
You
you're
know,
yeah,
like
yeah,
no one
yeah.
wants to be that kid that's like
Yeah.
sitting there like I'm a metalhead or whatever.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And so like honestly, that was kind of funny because it kind of worked in a weird like meandering way where like I saw people listening to Does This Look Infected,
Nice.
you know, on the bus and stuff. I think Deidre had a
Yeah.
CD, right? And so like we just kind of like I was like, what is that? And I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And you know, ironically though, was that they were pretty influenced by Metallica.
Yeah.
At least the guitarist was.
Yeah, I actually remember, this is weird because I remember an article in Alternative Press magazine, the
course,
first
yeah.
magazine that I ever had a subscription for. Like I begged my mom for I got a really good report card, and I was like, can I
Congratulations
get
on all your success?
and I was like, hey, can I get a subscription? Anyway, they wrote an article for the review of Does This Look Infected?
Yeah.
And they name dropped Metallica so many different times
Yeah.
because of how, like apparently they really love Metallica.
Yeah,
and I always thought
especially
that was
the
interesting.
guitarist. I can't remember his name, but he
The,
was-
the Indian guy, right?
yeah, it was his like favorite band, and that's why he plays the kind of music he like. He went in different band, and they played that. I guess I kind of gave hints with what was it, Fat Lip when they talk about Iron Maiden. You know?
Yeah.
Like and so like they were giving out
Great
hints.
song.
Yeah, Judas Priest, I think too. Did they say? I don't remember. But then I started really liking them. When Does This Look Infected and Chuck came out, like those two albums, they were like my favorite band.
Yeah. Did you ever go so it's interesting that you started at Does This Look Infected and not like, what is it? All Killer,
No Filler?
Yeah, All Killer. Did you go back and listen to those?
Yeah, I did. But
Yeah.
it's like anything else. I think the first one you're exposed to is usually
Always
kind of your
yeah.
favorite, right?
I agree.
You like, I get the Brand New. Like Brand New is my probably still my favorite.
Yeah. Like you can constantly put them on and not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, sometimes though, I feel like you got to be in a mood. But the best thing about them is they have everything that can cover
Yeah.
your mood.
That's true. And that's one of the best things about like, oh, this is my favorite band is like being like, I'll listen to them like during the summer and like pop punk and I'll put on Your Favorite Weapon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they went. Excuse me. They went some like existential fucking out of body rock. I don't know what you want to call it. And
I'm feeling some type of
put
way.
Devil and God or science fiction on. But like the thing is like they I would also get in moods where you just listen. That's all I listen to is Brand New, like front to back. But before that, it was I think Sum 41 was the next one, and then I was like, I'd listen to new stuff. Like I think at the time, like Thrice is coming out, Rise Against was getting big.
Yeah,
showing my age right now. But, but like they came out, and but it's still I'd always have like Chuck in my CD player. And then at the same time, because I had like a 6-disc player, I had like Chuck, and then I had like Motley Crue.
I remember the Egg. I remember the Egg 6-disc.
The 6-disc bad boy.
Yeah.
And and I had like Motley Crue in it. I gotta keep going back. If I don't know.
For sure.
And so
it's funny because I've known you a really long time, and while like the first band I remember us being like, oh man, we both love this band was Sum 41.
Yeah.
So like for as long as like I've always known you, I've like, even though I know it's probably not your favorite band currently, I always like refer to you as like, oh, my friend Zach, you really love Sum 41 and like Metallica. Those are the two. I also say Brand New, obviously.
Yeah.
But like Sum 41 and Metallica are, I think, the two bands that I always say are like,
which is funny.
Very Zach.
Because like I don't know what to say now. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I just listen to older stuff, which kind of sucks because you just
You really like Iron Maiden and stuff. So like I would say if someone asked me now, I'd probably say Iron Maiden. I've heard you listen to like nonstop. Yeah.
Iron Maiden, Megadeth. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like they're always in the mix. Or some retro wave, some Outrun.
Oh yeah.
That's always good shit. I think the problem is you want to find something new, but it's hard. Like you can't if it's not coming out. And then like I guess what's really funny though is when you're listening to say like I listened to Chuck when it came out like all the time. And so you actually know like all the tracks, right?
Yeah. And you had the lyric book, so you knew all the lyrics as intended.
Yeah, so you're like, you know these songs, but no one else knows them. And then you're like, kind of like, oh, this is kind of weird that I know all these songs and no one
I know
knows
these like track 4 songs.
Yeah, you're like, oh, this is a good song. Yeah, this is a great song off this album. But I mean, do you really, I guess I would have to I didn't take a log.
Yeah,
If I took a log,
So
I've listened to this CD more than the other one in the past week.
the one thing that I will say,
I
sorry.
I was gonna throw. I forgot that Census Fail for a while was top.
Absolutely.
Like probably
like a good. I feel like that was a good like 3 or 4 years where like I feel like you were listening to nothing but Census Fail.
Yeah, I think it was like after when I saw him at concert. It turns out to be a recency bias thing. It's like I saw them live and I'm like, oh yeah, I like them. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. And then like you didn't see Brand New live, so they kind of just dwindled out.
Yeah.
But
the one thing I was gonna say, especially about like finding bands, because like one of the things I think you and I both complain about sometimes is like falling in these cycles of listening to the same stuff you like. So why like but one of the things that I think Spotify and Apple Music and all that missed the mark on. Do you remember like opening the lyric booklets and in the back there would always be like a brand new thanks. And they would list like other bands.
Yeah, people. Even if it's just a front man for another band.
Yeah. And I would like Google that. And like I'm like 90% sure, no joke. One of my other like favorite bands, I would never call them a favorite, but one of my favorite bands is the Early November. I learned about them from a brand new like the back of their Your Favorite Weapon lyric book. You know what I mean?
Great, because that was also because they would we've talked about it before on here too.
Yeah.
Like the discs they hand out at
like the samplers.
Hot Topic and samplers. Yeah, and then it'd be like, here's All America Rejects, but also here's these other bands like, Brand New and Take It Back Sunday, and you're just like, oh wow, these are kind
this is awesome.
You know what I mean? Like, but you'd never hear of it until you did that or find it on that, or or just seeing a show, dude. You go to the show and an opener. That's how I like saw like Modern Baseball.
Yeah.
And then I liked them for it was very short lived, but
I think it's interesting that you liked Modern Baseball a lot more.
I absolutely like a lot more than Front Bottoms. I hate the Front Bottoms. I don't know what it is. I don't like them.
It doesn't resonate with the guy.
Not doing it for me, man.
Yeah.
And then of course, I think I've met more people that like Front Bottoms than Modern Baseball.
For sure.
Also, they're not even together anymore, right?
Yeah.
So there's that. But
so there's that. Here's the thing. Did you ever you touched on Hot Topic and we talked about Hot Topic. One of like this irrational fear I had in high school
going in the Hot Topic
was going in because like okay, everyone talks about like how the people that work there and everything are very inclusive. And that's probably the case if I was courageous enough to walk into a Hot Topic, but I always felt different because like I wore button ups and like I
would go to American Eagle.
Yeah, and it's like I still listen to the same music as you guys. Like I like the same. I love anime. Let me come into Hot Topic, but I'd be so weirded out.
They'd be looking at you like this dude is.
Yeah, like
wearing khakis.
I was worried I was gonna get made fun of, not the other way around.
Are those stripes, bro? Get the fuck out of here.
I would, if you ever worked at Hot Topic, DM me and tell me I was wrong. But
didn't they used to have the lights way low?
Way low.
Now it's like bright. Yeah, it's like Spencer's.
I hate Spencer's.
You hate it? Did you ever? I went in there a lot with my parents.
With your parents?
Very weird.
My parents would never take me into a Spencer's.
I don't know why we went in there.
Did you ever go to the back aisles?
Yes, I did. Of course, I did.
Everyone knows what the back aisles of Spencer's
are. They find me looking at the posters too, just like scrolling through. And you're like, I found them. And by the time you find them, though, your parents are time to go. And like, God damn it!
Yeah,
it took me forever to search for these.
They had like 1,000 posters, and you had to like do the.
You're just looking to flip through that shit. It's like FYE was the same shit too. Like the fucking. There's like a beam. Like a stick. Pulls the posters through. And you're like, all right.
Yeah. We talk about my dad sometimes. I feel like my dad, if he ever caught me at like Spencer's, like going through the posters, he'd just be like, "Oh, let me help you find the good ones. You're
on the wrong end."
Yeah.
Sorry, son. Here, it's over here.
Yeah.
Just tell me where. I'll buy them for you. How about that? You don't have to look for any more. All right, time for another edition of Dope or Dumb.
Dope or Dumb.
So. If you guys don't know already, you should. It's just a random
top, not like top, like a thing.
Some random stuff that we decide. Is it like, hey, is this cool or is it stupid? Is it dope or is it dumb?
Yeah.
And we wanted to get some feedback from our listeners. All 10 of you. So
we love you guys.
Yeah, you're really what makes us. You make the machine run.
You 10 listeners are the Billy Zane of podcast listeners.
That's right. Don't you dare forget that. So this last week or so, I think I put out one that was fireworks.
Okay. Topical. We
It was, I believe, we were actually at the Pirates game when I think I thought of it.
Okay.
Or it was the weekend after or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So I'll say that like it looks like it can be interpreted a little bit different. Like what kind of fireworks? And I was thinking also mostly it was definitely I think we came back and it was after the 4th because there was fireworks going off and it was like I'm old.
Yeah.
I'm not going to speak for you, Chris, but I'm an old man. And it was like 10 o'clock, maybe 11 o'clock at night, and the fireworks are going off. And it's like, bro, I'm just trying to sleep right now. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, why we got to be out here celebrating freedom at this late? We can celebrate freedom all goddamn day.
Okay. I agree.
And so
I feel like you're telling me what side of the line you're following.
I think I am. All right. I will disclose. I think they're dumb. Okay. I think they're just. You know how they talk about like how turkeys will like look up in the rain and then like drown.
Yeah. That's whenever people look at
when
fireworks.
You see people just staring up at the fireworks like, and I'm like. You could get like hit by a fucking car right now. You didn't even notice because you were just like staring up at a bright light that made a big noise.
You're very safe. Everything has to be accounted for.
It's like, have you ever seen? It's like the Land of the Dead or Day of the Dead.
Like
It's a George Romero.
Okay.
It's like John Leguizamo.
Oh, yes.
And they like launch fireworks to distract zombies.
Yeah.
To go out and like hunt for supplies and shit. They have like that armored like RV. This literally looks like what people they have it on they have nail on the head there. That people are out there just like staring up. And it's like zombies.
Yeah.
Because they have no like newsflash, guys. Zombies have no brains. They're basically comatose walking. They can't consciously think. They're mentally incapacitated.
I know what you're saying.
But also it's like kind of like let's make things loud and bright for absolutely no reason. So I guess I say it's dumb on the fact of why. Like
I'm going to be honest with you.
Break it down, Chris.
I have a lot of feelings on fireworks. The first,
a lot.
There are only 2 occasions you should ever shoot fireworks.
Okay.
I don't care. Like, if it's someone's graduation, like, I hate hearing fireworks.
At a graduation.
Yeah, like, I hate hearing
fireworks. So you're talking personal fireworks, like ones you can smuggle across the border.
Well, it doesn't even have to be personal. Like, you can go to, like, a game, a sports game, and sometimes they just have fireworks nights that aren't...
Okay, we were at the Pirates game. They fired fireworks after a home run.
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah. Like, there's, I used to live near the Squirrels Stadium.
Right.
So, like, I heard fireworks a lot. And, like, it would be like April.
Right. It's like April at like 3 in the afternoon because they had a noon game.
Yeah. Like, fireworks when... Like, it loses all meaning when fireworks aren't special.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you think literally 4th of July, is this what you're going to say? Independence Day?
So, here's also my thing about fireworks also. I agree with you. I have seen a lot of fireworks displays. None of them look different to me. You know what I mean? No one has ever thrown like a really cool firework. Yeah,
nothing's like, wow.
Yeah, I've never been like, man, I'm really glad
I can go die now because I've seen the firework that I've been meaning to see my entire existence.
They all do the same pop
loud. Bro, I hate those ones. Those are the worst ones.
Those are the only ones I tolerate.
For about an hour, and you're like, stop! Oh my god!
The only reason I like those is because, like, at least those you can watch for a little bit.
Yeah, but you know what they do though? They put those ones out, and then they put like 16 loud ones right into it.
Yeah. So I hate those.
Fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
This pyrotechnic like dude in the like wherever the hell they're launching him, it's like this is gonna be sick, dude. Watch this. He's like, I'm gonna launch like 16. They're gonna see one bright color and all go blind.
Yeah,
it's gonna be amazing.
All right, I've got one for you.
So what's your answer then?
I agree, dumb. I agree, dumb.
What were you gonna say?
Just to keep talking a little bit about like fireworks that shouldn't be going off. Hot take. They do fireworks. Correct me if I'm wrong. They did it pre-COVID. They do fireworks at like Grand Illumination. holiday fireworks make zero sense to me.
Christmas. You mean.
Yeah. Like during the holiday season,
they do.
Grand Illumination in Williamsburg. I'm like
Holly Dazzle.
Holly
over at
Dazzle.
City Center.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
I'm pretty sure.
only one.
Do
Holly
they do
Dazzle.
like fireworks during like Christmas Town? Maybe.
I don't know.
Like there's like to me like holiday fireworks make no sense to me.
Yeah, is it gonna be red and green the whole time?
Yeah, like
That's it.
no
colors.
Like
This one
I'd
blows up
rather
like a
wait in
Christmas
the
tree.
line. Exactly. I'd rather wait in the line to try to go through the light show or the light
Yeah.
Newport
Like-
News Park.
Oh yeah,
What is
we're
it
not.
called?
It's Celebration of Lights.
Celebration of
we
Lights.
didn't make it last year. Remember?
We did. We tried.
We tried. The line was astronomical, so we got McNuggets, which I thought was better.
Can I say one thing about? I don't want to talk about this
you're-
story and just go on a tangent, but I remember when I was like, guys, this is my favorite holiday song, and it was very depressing, and we were all very quiet,
That
and
was
it was very weird.
Well, to be fair, I don't remember what it was.
It was Sufjan Stevens.
But also, there was a fucking twat whistle
Oh yeah, like
next to
cutting.
me
Yeah,
in his Tundra. It wasn't even on like the road trying to get on the exit, so he was trying to cut me off. So I was just like, we were doing that, like we were stuck in like parking lot
Yeah,
on the
a
interstate.
parking
So
lot.
He's doing that. We're doing that whole thing where like a standstill, but we're moving inches at a time. Like, all right, let's go, bitch. I wish you would run over my Jetta.
Yeah.
I wish you would, dude. Fuck you. So anyway,
exactly.
you're telling me only 1 or 2 days. What days are those?
I think it's okay to shoot fireworks during 4th of July. All right,
Okay.
I think it's too ingrained in culture. Fine, I accept those.
You can't change culture.
I mean, like, I'd like if they changed that, but you can set those off there.
Yeah.
And then I have one last one that you could set it off at, and
Mm-hmm.
that's like when the Super Bowl or like the pinnacle of a sports
sure.
event, the pinnacle
I got you.
of a
Like,
sports
the,
event.
The championship.
Yeah.
Like
The world champion.
Series,
Yeah,
someone
World
wins
Series.
the World Cup.
I'd be fine with the college football national championship
I
having
think
fireworks.
of it, and it's got to be at the end.
Oh, absolutely.
'Cause
Do
the
not
Su-
set
what
off
about-
fireworks.
The Super Bowl does it in the beginning, though.
Do they really?
Yeah, I'm sure
Weird.
they do. I'm sure they shoot like a fucking lineup and then like launch like 16 planes across. Like, you're like
I feel like
all
they're
right.
like a halftime show. Firework
sure there's
people.
also that,
They
too.
do fireworks all the time.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's saturated at this point. It's
Yeah.
just so much of it. So
too much fireworks.
You're going with dumb.
I am going with dumb. I'm going with dumb. There's like very few instances I think they're dope. Like I wish a firework would go off that would make me think I'm glad fireworks exist. So far they've all been pop 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 or
They also piss off apparently, not our dogs, but they piss off a lot of dogs or freak them out.
yeah.
Which-
And that just sucks.
How you gonna hate on how you gonna
Yeah. How you
make
gonna
a
do
dog upset? Anyway, I think you'd be surprised at the answers.
that? Did an overwhelming majority say dope?
So no, actually.
Oh wow.
It was close again.
Oh, I'm
We've
kind of
had
surprised.
some very close dope or dumbs.
We have a lot of discerning friends.
Yeah, I think I might have to check my friends list soon and make some cuts. No, so actually, it was very close. We only had one more vote for dumb or for dope than
Okay.
dumb.
Okay.
So only one. So 53% dope.
Say dope. Okay.
47 said dumb.
Okay.
So you want to let's see if anyone said dope that we
If you had switched teams, we would have won.
Man, okay. I should keep track.
Okay.
How like I should definitely keep track because I think how many have we done? Like maybe 3 dope or dumbs?
We have, I think 4, but
I can't
3 or 4.
remember. It's 3 something. So every single time I think we're on the opposite of Billy less than Zane.
Really, Billy less than Zane.
Billy said dope.
Billy, when are you going to come
But
on
I guess
here?
at least so did Carly, so
Ah.
do you think that's a thing? Your relationship
I think fireworks people tend to stick together.
like I feel like you can't have 2
Where did producer Brandy fall on the dope or dumb?
dumb.
Okay. See?
You want
Firework
validation?
yeah, firework people stick together. Non-firework people stick together.
No, I'm good. Yeah. Yeah, like I mean, I guess like because like you'd be like, "Hey, I want to see the fireworks show." I hate that. Like, I want to go, and you just argue all night about
Yeah.
who wants to go or not.
Let's go fight traffic and then stare up at the
Oh,
sky.
man, dude. I fucking hate that because the worst part is you got to get deep into these. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Like when they're like, "Hey, we're gonna launch them over this like river," and then like everyone's there.
Yeah.
3 hours before sundown, right? You know they launch them. The sun's got to go down first of all.
Yeah.
So everyone, and then like say you're on the river, and like you have to go all the way like to the fucking river bank, like down into the crowd to get a good view.
Yeah.
And then when it's over, it's like,
All right.
now we must wait in our car for traffic. Yeah, that's always another
Do you think
shitty aspect to think about.
I'm curious, and I'd be curious, ladies and gentlemen, if you would DM me or DM us at Gin and Sofa Pod and let me know. Do you ever find fireworks romantic?
No.
Like say like all things equal, like you guys found a spot, like you had a perfect parking spot for some reason. No one knew this spot on the beach. You knew,
You
or
get to watch it.
yeah, like you or you had a house on the beach and you just had like a vantage point and you look up and it's like, do you ever find fireworks maybe romantic in that sense?
I don't think so.
I'd be curious other people's answers too.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
Because I feel like people find
What are
fireworks.
you trying to write out something like with a fireworks? I feel like you can't read it. You know? It's like, will you marry me? And it's like, that was supposed to say something.
And now it just looks like a bunch of
it's
fizzles.
Like gibberish. Yeah, it's like, and you're like, I can't even hear you speak right now. I've gone deaf.
I've got to be honest with you. I don't think they're romantic either. Like some people wait for fireworks to do things like propose or like, I don't know.
Right.
Or they do them at weddings.
That was literally what I
sometimes.
was thinking. Like
Yeah.
the proposal. You know, like somebody's got the champagne ready.
Yeah.
Wants like a little bit of a firework, you know, and then he's like, "Hey, you know, suck my wiener." And she's like, "That's the wrong question." Oh, shit! I made the guy write that in the firework. He wrote the wrong thing. He said, "Marry me." I meant something else. I meant. You hear that noise? I just finished my gin and ginger.
Me too.
It's a gin thing, Chris.
It's a gin thing.
What were your thoughts on the drink?
I really liked it. It's a gin and ginger. So, you know,
Can't go wrong. Yeah, you can't go wrong with that.
You can't really go wrong. No real frills about it. The thing I would say is the gin tasted really good in there. So what was the gin you used? Because that can make all the difference in a gin and ginger.
Oh, sure, because there's two fucking ingredients. If
one's bad,
you're gonna be fucked. So I will say at first, the gin is the. I have the bottle right here.
Oh, nice.
Allow me to read this to you. 8 Oaks. 8 Oaks Distillery. Okay, it's craft distilled, veteran owned.
Veteran owned.
Sorry, guys. You also experienced what I did. Yeah. And women, if you're there, I don't know who works there. It's their American gin.
Okay.
This is from New Tripoli, Pennsylvania, which is outside of Philadelphia.
Philly.
I made sure to look it up.
And you got that when we went up to Pittsburgh,
I
right?
did. I got this the other week. They have a Pennsylvania libation store, and they sell like every liquor made in Pennsylvania. Which is really
really
cool.
like that place.
Yeah, and then they give you samples, so you can't really hate on that place.
Yeah, that is when I've only gone with you guys twice.
Yeah.
But I would go with you guys again and again. That's one of my favorite. Please let us stop there.
I love that place. That's where I got the Forefathers gin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they got the cool shit. I don't know. So it says their American gin stands out among the best. The rest. I've had too much of this. With botanicals of lemongrass, orange peel, orris root, juniper berries, rosemary, and coriander.
My
Herbal
guy.
and smooth. This is most definitely not your grandmother's gin. What?
My guy. All of those ingredients, I'm 90% sure were also in mine. The only difference was I chose licorice instead of one of these other ingredients.
I think orris root
Orris root.
was one of the, because I remember orris root,
Orange
mace,
Orange peel.
and like licorice were like those main ones, right?
Apparently, I am 8 Oaks master bottler
So
over.
apparently, it sounds like you need to sue 8 Oaks that they stole your gin.
They saw
Yeah.
Badass and were like, "Oh, this guy made a great, made a great gin."
Gin from London. What the fuck, man? This is American gin,
Yeah.
not London Dry. So, which I don't know really what American gin is. I feel like a bastard.
Did they explain it to us? I thought. And
I think they're really focused on explaining London Dry before they explain American gin. I just think the only thing they brought up was aviation. Remember?
Oh yeah, they did.
And
they
then
did.
like she was like, "I never had it," and we were like, "Well, we had it in a plane."
Yeah,
here."
they really love Ryan Reynolds over there.
Who doesn't?
Yeah. We love them over here too.
Love them in my pants, you know? God damn. So it's 44%.
Okay.
So it's whoops. I was trying to set that down really soft. Didn't work.
No worries.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I got a little bottle, got a little discount on it.
Yeah.
Fun fact was the ginger beer was actually it's made by Betty Buzz Mixers,
Oh.
which is owned by Blake Lively, who actually gets to bang Ryan Reynolds. You lucky
Lucky her.
sucker, you know? If I could walk in her shoes. So I enjoyed it, and I think it's great. It's funny that you mentioned it's like just kind of a pedestrian drink almost, you know?
Yeah.
It's a simple, no frills kind of drink, which I think actually fits well with this movie.
Yeah.
Because Jason Lee is kind of a simple guy.
He always plays the everyman.
Everyman, you know? And, you know, we have talked before about the correlation between him and Ryan Reynolds in the past.
How what was it? Jason Lee walked.
So Ryan Reynolds could, you know, destroy the world. Run the world, basically. Ryan Reynolds could run the world. You know, and I think it's pretty, you know, it's a reliable, he was a reliable guy in the early 2000s for movies.
Yeah, he was. Slam dunk.
Slam dunk. You know, My Name's Earl, you know, Mallrats, you know, all the good stuff. And so,
I like the drink.
I do too.
Was it, I'm sorry, you said this, but like, when you said the Betty Buzz thing, was it ginger ale or ginger beer?
Ginger beer.
Ginger beer. Do people like drink ginger beer? Like
I don't know. I think maybe. Not like ginger ale, though.
But like, when I go to a bar, do people say like, can I get a ginger beer? Like, is that what sarsaparilla is?
Sarsaparilla. Can I get some of that sarsaparilla? I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, that's just weird to think about. Like, ginger beer just exists to be a mixer?
I think it might have been drank before.
Before the world evolved, and we're like, this is really weird to have.
Yeah. The biggest difference is just really the ginger.
Yeah.
Excuse me. The ginger content, right? It's more spicy.
Yeah, it is I think they make it a mixer because you'll get that ginger, excuse me,
get a pretty
really quick
kick to it and not just sweet.
You know what I think I would add to a gin and ginger if it was you and me and we had like infinite resources? We eat sushi a lot.
I love sushi.
We should get some of that shaved ginger.
Oh, like the pink shit?
Yeah.
The pickled ginger?
I think that would be really good in a drink like this.
Interesting. Yeah.
I would love to try that. We'll have to scoop it off the side when we order sushi just to bring it back.
Put in the Ziploc. This will come in handy down the road. I mean, I
like it, though.
Are you going to eat that garnish?
I would eat that garnish.
All right, I like it. So we're going to give it a grade, right? We've been doing that. We actually didn't. Well,
that's all right. We do that occasionally. We'd like to do it more.
We've forgotten, but we're going to do it this time.
Yeah.
Because I've just remembered.
Okay.
So was it 1 out of 4 or was it 1 out of 5? I can't remember.
1 out of... It was like we would do a 1 is you won't even finish it. You don't mind that you paid.
Yeah. Don't care about price. You're not going to.
The second one is you'll drink it and you'll
just never get it again.
Yeah. The third is, I believe, you'll order it if you see it on a menu. Mm-hmm. And the 4 was you'll go off menu for it.
Right, that's right. Okay, so like say they don't have anything that catches your eye in the menu. This is one of the ones you'll pick.
Yeah, you'll go somewhere and be like,
I know it sounds like there should be a limited like in your holster of like ones you can pick.
Yeah.
But I feel like you can have 20 drinks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And just like whatever the mood is taking you.
Yeah. There could be multiple 4s.
I'll let you go first because I'm a nice guy.
I got to be honest with you.
And you go for it.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever ordered a gin and ginger. I really like this. I suddenly want to start ordering this. Like, I'm a big French 75 guy.
Yeah.
This might be a cheaper French 75 for me.
Yeah, it's true.
And that tasted really good.
I am very surprised it's the first time you ever had that.
I really think so.
I like gin and ginger. It's like...
Well, maybe we've had it, like, and I haven't really recalled it. But
I think it's really good. It's, I think... So you were going to say...
4.
4?
Absolutely. If I looked at a menu and there was nothing that jumped out at me, this is a drink I would order. And I would order... I think I would order this, at 11 o'clock in the morning. Maybe
it's not too... Yeah, it's kind of light. It is still like the ginger kind of gives it like a light
exactly.
I would say it's a... What's the word I'm looking for? It's a safe drink.
Say, I like that. Yeah, yeah.
because you can't really fuck up.
Do you think because though, like if like the bar you went to,
Mm-hmm.
you walked into like the worst bar in Newport Snooze,
Right.
Newport Booze, and you were like, "Can I get a gin and ginger?" and they poured you Aristocrat, and they poured you, I don't even know who makes a really bottom barrel ginger beer, but you know, like Sam's Value ginger beer.
Ginger ale. What if they did
Yeah,
that?
yeah, you
What
know,
if they-
something like
what if
that.
they didn't know gin and ginger's ginger, like, ginger beer?
Yeah, that would be. I mean, I wouldn't.
Would you know until you got it? I mean, I probably know first sip
Yeah,
because it's not biting me in the mouth. You know?
yeah, it's not like really bitter.
It's not kicking. Yeah.
Yeah,
But like, we're spicy almost. Like ginger almost has a like spicy feel to it.
yeah. The thing I like about this gin and ginger, and the thing I would tell people who say like, "Oh, gin tastes too pine needly," try a
Right.
drink like this because it almost like I almost don't taste the gin, and maybe that's a testament to the Eight Oaks gin, but
Mhm.
it also could be that like it takes the bite out of almost like
The gin.
the pine needle taste, the earthy taste that you might get from gin.
I agree. I mean, I think they complement it very well, each other very well. I
It's
think
a classic for a reason.
right. It's a drink for a reason.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give it a 4 as well.
Ooh.
I think I would definitely order this off menu. And because again, I go on the whole safe side thing. I think safe is a very big factor on what drinks I would like drink, off menu.
Uh-huh.
Like there's
I respect it.
I almost think this is safer than a gin and tonic, especially in America.
I can see that.
I don't know what kind of tonic they're putting in this shit.
Yeah.
I don't know how much tonic they're putting into it. And that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You go over England and they give you the tonic bottle.
And you can decide. And
You can decide,
yeah.
or you at least see that there's gin in it. And they could put a splash of gin and it's all, I guess they could do the same thing with ginger beer. But it's like almost like ordering a rum and Coke, but a gin and ginger.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's my idea.
I dig it.
I go 4.
I go 4. There you go. Gin and ginger. Gin sofa rated 4.
4. Go get one.
All right, Zach. So we've been drinking this drink. Specifically, we alluded to it. Jason Lee's an everyman.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to do another one of our patented movie reviews. Patented movie reviews.
Trademarked.
And I really am excited to talk about this movie because if there's 2 things I know about you,
Mm-hmm.
you really like Jason Lee.
Okay.
You really hate Julia
This is
Stiles.
true. Yeah.
So I honestly, I don't know your
What a
opinion on the
clash.
movie at all right now. Like this is legitimate. Like we haven't even discussed our opinions on the movie.
Right.
So I'm curious. My first question for you is, did your love of Jason, or did your like of Jason Lee's parts overshadow how much you hate Julia Stiles? Or did you look at that movie as a Julia Stiles movie and you're like, oh, bad movie?
So if you're not listening, if you don't know what we're talking about, it's the new guy. Not the new guy. Wow. It's the a guy thing.
It's a guy thing.
Wow,
I
so many
apologize.
guys in movies.
I went right into the question. I
Yes,
apologize.
Yeah, as we watched a guy thing,
Yeah.
and starring Jason Lee and Julia Stiles
And Selma Blair.
and Selma Blair. And I will go to answer your question. I don't think she was in it enough to distract me.
I see what you're saying. Like it was more a Selma
So-
Blair was the main.
Yeah, surprisingly, Julia Stiles was not in it a lot.
Yeah.
She was in a decent amount, but like there was only, we'll get into it, but there was only like one night that they were like out doing adventures or whatever.
Yeah.
like hanging out together.
Yeah.
One night.
Yeah. I get what you're
One
saying.
night.
Like she wasn't.
And I'll bring that up.
We'll allude to that.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying. There was only a minimal amount of screen time, so it's not necessarily a.
And it was more of a Jason Lee, and I honestly think it was one of his lower quality performances.
Ooh.
Chris,
Okay.
what
Just overarching thought for me is I thought it was a really great movie.
yeah.
But like it was weird because like I thought it was a great movie, almost like it wasn't. I don't know how to explain this. It was like such a far-fetched, just everything that it was like one of those. It reminded me of something you'd see in like American Pie, but like without like it wasn't problematic.
No, but it was like American Pie in the fact that like everything goes wrong
for no reason.
Yeah, and like they try to get out of situations and makes it worse.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing.
So, yeah, it just reminded me of that, but without like me feeling bad because they're making like bad jokes.
Yeah. I thought it was just okay.
It was okay.
I guess, but we could start with
the introduction.
The beginning of the movie
is a speech for Jason Lee. We set the scene that Mr. Jason Lee,
Paul,
is getting married.
Paul Allen, just Paul.
Let's see Paul's card.
Let's see Paul's marriage.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're at a tiki bar, I guess.
They're at a tiki bar.
They're throwing my dude a bachelor party.
And he's like drinking, but he's like, you could tell he doesn't necessarily want like a bachelor party because he's like, oh, you know, like, why are you doing this? You know, I don't need a bachelor party, you know. And he even pawns off
being the groom.
He's like, hey, you should be the groom, like to his best friend.
So the strippers or whatever they were,
dancers,
I guess,
thought that he was so like they didn't give Jason Lee a lap dance or anything.
Right. He didn't want to get a lap dance.
Yeah,
he didn't want to be that guy.
Yeah, he was. You get the sense that he was trying to be a great guy,
trying to be a great dude, being a good guy,
being a good guy.
So he pawns him off. However, for some reason, Julia Stiles just floats over to him.
Yeah. She's doing this like bad dance and like, I don't know. I think it's supposed to be like cute because she's purposely bad or like doesn't care. Wow. Yeah. Like
2 left feet.
Julia Stiles, you know, I don't hate you as much as Zach, but you do have a tendency to play the exact same role of being like, I'm so quirky. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like, she gets the sense that she's like, oh, I'm dancing really like nonchalant and I don't care. So she does fall over to him and like, she's like, oh, it's my first day. And Jason Lee's like, you're bad at this.
Yeah.
And she says, can you buy me a drink?
Aggressive.
She preys on the man.
Yeah. Weak man. Weak-willed.
And to be fair, Jason Lee has pawned off the groom hat.
Yeah, she has no...
Yeah.
He's not wearing a hat. How could you know he's the groom?
Yeah, if only there was a thing he could say like, hey, I'm getting married.
That might work.
Yeah.
No. So they like, do the little...
Yeah.
In the morning.
Fast forward.
Oh, that's what it's called. The fast forward.
In case you uncultured swine don't know what that sound effect was.
Fast forward noise. He gets a phone call from we don't know who it is,
but it's his mother-in-law, future mother-in-law.
She ends up revealing on the phone it's his future mother-in-law.
Yeah.
She's like asking about her daughter. Is she there yet? And then he rolls over. He's like, yeah, she's right here, and it's not Selma Blair.
It's not Selma Blair.
It's Julia Stiles.
It's Miss Julia Stiles.
In her hula outfit still. Her tiki
Ooh,
garb.
That was a good pun then.
Julia.
I thought we were just being really cool with the J there.
We're doing a little soft yays.
I like that. Okay. I like it. Oh, okay. All right. I hope you guys picked up on that because that just dawned on me. Genius. Okay. So he does. He rolls over and it's Miss Julia Stiles.
Yeah. So he honestly, my first thought on this was he was very calm. He did freak, but he was very well, you got to get out of here.
Oh, he was like a controlled freak out. Yeah.
And then I guess my second thought was that she was just like, whatever.
Yeah, she really didn't care.
Right.
And that was a little weird.
She was like, that sucks. I can't find my underwear. So when you find it, let me know.
Yeah, she just said, let me know.
Don't let your fiance know. I'm out of here. And I was like, wow, she's very nonchalant about not knowing this was happening.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you. I would imagine if that situation were real, the other woman, Julia Stiles' character, would have been like, you're an asshole. I'm telling her the moment she gets here.
He fucked up.
Yeah, because he was like, my fiance's going to be here. And she was like, oh,
All right,
I should go.
I guess I should leave.
Yeah,
like literally in this tone.
Yeah, like
that's
yeah,
time to
her
go.
very Julia Stiles way of talking,
Yeah.
and like the very like, oh, I should go. I'm really quirky.
I'm really alternative. Yeah. I'm also Keanu Reeves, bruh. No. So like,
They get in the hallway.
yeah, you get in the hallway, and she's like in her hula outfit still. And
Yeah.
the neighbor.
The neighbor
apparently just
sees him
staring.
and yeah, stares him, and I assume the neighbor knows that he's got like a girl in there before because
But
he
it doesn't seem like it later on.
yeah he just the
He
neighbor
was also he's the dad from 10 Things I Hate About You.
yeah, he's
yeah.
played a lot with Julia Stiles.
Yeah, they filmed the film together. But you know.
Yeah. So he does that like, oh, what you're doing is wrong thing. They walk into their apartment.
Right.
He finally gets Julia Stiles out.
Yeah, and then he finds the underwear.
He finds the underwear. He finds her underwear. Where does he hide it?
What does he do?
Where does he hide it?
Where would you hide it, Chris?
Okay, I got to be honest with you. Watching that scene was really frustrating
Yeah.
because like I get it was supposed to be funny, but like no sane person. The first place he tried to put it,
Yeah.
the freezer.
Dude. Did you see later on in the movie when she opened the freezer and like the camera lingered on it? Like,
Oh, no, I guess I didn't pick up on that.
I don't know. Like, it was like,
Was
hey,
it a callback?
Yeah, it was a
She
call-
opens the freezer a lot.
He fucked up. He would have been fucked if she
Yeah.
opened the freezer. And she loves pizza, frozen pizza.
Yeah, it was
She gets the ice from there.
like it's just like such a irrational thought that like I
Right.
know I'm supposed to be like haha, but I'm like
Yeah.
no person legitimately would be like, and it makes it worse where he ends up throwing it away. No,
No, he didn't.
that's the stupid part. He doesn't throw it away.
Throw it away.
Where does he put it?
Yeah, I was like, yo, I'm putting this in the toilet tank. He
The
puts it
toilet
in the
tank.
toilet tank.
Idiot.
All right. So it's out of sight right now.
Yeah, it's out of sight right now, and bear in mind, it's in the toilet tank where no sane person would ever
Right.
put anything ever.
Unless you're Walter White. But that's just it. Anyway, you put your phone in there. And so
And so
she comes home.
she comes
I
home.
forgot her name. Karen, I think it is.
Oh, classic.
Is it Karen? I think it is.
It's probably Karen. It's probably. I apologize. I call her Selma Blair in my head.
Selma
just
Blair
no matter
comes
what.
home. Sure, that's fine. She comes home. She's like buying him. She has him close, but like it's really early that they like let you know that she's kind of
Bossy,
bossy, a little.
controlling, maybe. Like,
Not like aggressively.
yeah, she just like you can tell she's a good person, but they make it
Mm.
very obvious she's not right for him.
Yeah. They're trying to make it. Yeah,
Because she's like, I bought you a sweater, and he's like, oh,
didn't wear
thanks.
sweaters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and like,
things like that.
she buys him some shoes, and she's
Yeah.
like, break these in for the wedding. In my opinion, a reasonable request.
reasonable.
Yeah, but
Buy
like
me
they
new
make it a
shoes.
point to focus on it throughout the film, where like everyone's like making fun of his shoes because he's wearing like
because it
shiny
doesn't
tux.
fit his character.
Yeah, he's
man.
wearing tuxedo shoes. So it's like, they make it very obvious from the get. Selma Blair,
Mm-hmm.
probably not the right person for Mr. Jason Lee.
Just weirdly got the idea right away. So I was like, wow, something's wrong. Here.
Yeah, something's amiss.
Something's amiss. It's not the
Yeah.
fact that he had another girl in his bed. It's this scene.
Yeah,
No, so then I think from there he goes to work.
he does. Yeah, he tries to go. He like calls his friend and tells him like,
What happened? So
yeah.
what is funny to me is his immediate reaction is to tell everyone he knows what happened.
and good on him. Guilty conscience. You got to
Sure.
spread that shit. But like also like.
He told, yeah,
He literally picked up the phone and told like
his
5
best friend,
people.
and he told his brother, who in the very first scene, I guess we forgot.
Yeah, we
was
forgot to
already-
mention this.
Was already talking about how he wanted to smash his fiance. Like,
He made it
hard.
very weird.
very
like
weird, very
like,
fast.
They made it as like a joke where I forgot the guy's name.
Thomas Lennon.
I really like that guy from 911, so I was
Yeah.
stoked when I saw him.
Yeah.
But he makes this really weird like comments where he's like, she's so hot and
so
like
funny,
funny
so
and witty
gorgeous,
and like
so
and the way she
quirky.
like laughs and he's
Yeah.
like stop
Yeah, it's like, dude, all right, we get it. You
Yeah.
want to smash my fiance? Cool, bro. Anyway, so it's like early, but he calls his brother and he tells him,
Yeah, he's like, hey, guess what I did?
Yeah.
And cheated on the woman that you're in love with.
right, just letting you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought it was a bad idea.
I mean, yeah,
Whatever.
I
So then he goes
agree.
to work and he's his boss turns out to be,
his
who would guess it?
future father-in-law.
Yeah.
a classic trope
It's a Jason Lee thing.
yeah.
I mean, not just that era, but I feel like we watched. Oh man, I was like,
It's a thing in Shallow Hal.
what did we watch with Jason Lee? Stealing Harvard.
Oh, Stealing Harvard.
Was his no? It wasn't. It was his boss.
Yeah,
his boss
was
was
his boss.
his wife's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stealing Harvard. The boss is the father-in-law.
Of his wife or
Shallow Hal.
fiancé.
The boss is the
Yeah.
father-in-law.
Yeah.
You, Me, and Dupree. The boss is the father-in-law.
Yeah. It's like, let's just do that.
Yeah,
And we're
it's
gonna-
like that's always like a comedy trope where it's like the moment he walked into the when
You
they make
knew.
when they make it a point that like, oh, he's doing a job, when they focus on work, you know it has to be because
there's there's some ties to
Yeah.
his job besides
like,
just losing his job.
if he lost his job, whatever, oh, it's his father-in-law, so he has to keep the relationship.
Yeah, exactly. And so you see it, you're like, whatever. So
Yeah.
but like they have a good what's up?
Can we talk about one scene in that part? Jason Lee's boss is his father-in-law
Yes.
or future father-in-law. He looks at a photo
Mm-hmm.
of his future father-in-law and George Bush.
Yeah.
And the father-in-law is like, you like that photo? Why would it be the first time they talk about that photo? You know what I mean?
I don't
It's
know.
his future father. I thought that was the weirdest scene.
I don't know.
And then
man.
I thought it was going to be like, oh, there's going to be some references to this. This is going to be like an old, like weird white dude thing.
Yeah.
No.
I think it was
They
very
never mention
weird.
that again.
Weird in the fact that, he's his father or future father-in-law, so he's probably talked to him a bunch, and he's clearly had to have been in that office more than that one time. It makes no sense.
It doesn't make
It makes no sense. So they go to the boardroom.
They go to the boardroom.
First, I guess we find out later he does like advertisements, but I guess you kind of get that gist.
Yeah.
And they seem to have a pretty good relationship. But he finds out in this moment
Right then and there.
that he's got an itchy crotch,
And my guy goes, like,
ham into his balls.
I don't know what, like, I've never had crabs, but like, I cannot imagine, like, he was in a boardroom meeting, people, scratching his balls.
Right.
Like, no rational person does that.
It was just like over pants, man.
Yeah, like very obviously, and
Really
then he does
hard.
it with the pointer.
Yeah.
like he's giving a presentation. Like his boss makes him,
Yeah.
his father-in-law, his future father-in-law, makes him give a presentation about like how well he's doing or something. And it's like,
Cross your balls, huh?
yeah, scratching balls.
So he goes to the bathroom and takes care of it. I guess he decides at that point he's got crabs.
He decides that he has crabs.
Excuse me. So he ends up going to a pharmacy,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
And of course, there's another shenanigans going on at this pharmacy.
Too many shenanigans at the pharmacy.
Where he's trying to find crab shampoo or something.
Yeah, he's like,
and,
where's the crab medicine or something like
and then
that?
they're just yelling across. The old,
very 2000s comedy.
Yeah,
Everyone
we're gonna yell
scream a funny
crabs,
word.
Crabs everywhere. Yeah, and then, of course, guess who shows up? His future mother-in-law.
His future mother-in-law.
And the guy comes. The pharmacist dude tries to come back and talk to him about
How to use the crab
how to use the
shampoo.
crab shampoo. And he tries to get out of this conversation. But then, at the end of the day, they end up hiring this dude as a chef for
They
their
do.
rehearsal dinner, which is the weirdest thing.
In the only 2000s way
Yeah,
comedy you could do it, they hire the pharmacist to be the chef.
this chef for a fucking rehearsal dinner.
Because the chef, like the pharmacist was like trying to cover for Jason Lee because
Yeah.
Jason Lee was like, oh, he's a chef.
Yeah, he taught me how to cook this thing.
Yeah, the
and then-
crab ran good because he said crabs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
right, yeah.
So like he tried to lie his way out of it, and they end up hiring him as a chef because they had to come up with a lie for
I
why.
think with all these things, though, I'm sitting in a fucking a pharmacy and someone says, "Hey, yeah, crab." Anything crabs at a
Yeah.
pharmacy, and I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, sure, it was a meal," and I'm gonna like know what
Just
it really
walk.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, just walk out.
Yeah.
Whatever. But then, so that fiasco happened, and I think they end up going to there's like not a rehearsal dinner, but it's like a get together dinner that night.
It's weird. Yeah, it's like I guess it was the meet the parents one because they made it sound like it was the first time they were meeting the parents.
Yeah, I guess
Like Jason Lee's parents.
I guess so.
It was, I don't know what it was. It was like a pre-rehearsal
Dinner.
dinner.
Yeah, so like he gets there and Aunt
We
Birdie-
missed one scene though.
We did miss the scene.
on the way home or on the way to get to work, the toll woman.
Ah, yes, we did. Okay.
Was Julia Stiles.
Right.
So he just ran into the woman he thinks he cheated on his fiance with like an hour or two after kicking her out of the place. And they have this weird scene where they're like kind of flirting. And it's like weird because if you really were upset about cheating on your fiance,
they're flirting at the toll booth?
A little bit because like she was like, like he was like, do you have 50 cents? And he gave her 50 cents and they were like talking and then he was hitting her thing. And I thought it was flirting. If a woman hit my car
Damaging my car is flirting. Yes, yes.
Women, if you hear that, damage my car.
Damage my car.
Please.
Okay, I guess.
I just wanted to call that out because Julia Stiles popped up again and, it's like, oh, this girl is like popping up.
Yeah, fun fact, they live in like Seattle, so
yeah,
a small city. This dinner's happening, and I forget what her name was. Aunt Birdie?
Aunt Bird?
Aunt Bird?
Yeah.
Anyway.
It was a weird... It wasn't like Aunt Birdie, or it might have been Aunt Birdie, but it wasn't like a normal name for somebody. Yeah. It was like Aunt Borscht.
So he goes... Aunt Borscht.
Yeah.
Aunt Baloney.
Yeah.
And so she's like, oh, I want you to meet Aunt whatever. And his fiance does, and so he goes into the room and sees Julia Stiles sitting at the table. And that's the whole plot twist of this movie.
Julia Stiles
is the cousin
of Selma Blair.
Fiance. My God.
Small world.
Small world.
You would think impossibly small, right?
Impossibly small. So Jason Lee says the only thing he can do.
Can I ask one question real fast?
Yeah.
Because Aunt Baloney, Aunt Butthole was
okay.
She was like 90.
She was pretty old.
I thought like it didn't dawn on me that she might be Julia Stiles' mom.
Oh, that's what I assumed.
Yeah, because like Julia Stiles is the cousin and this was the aunt, and they were always hanging out and like talking to each other.
Right.
It like weirded me out because like the aunt was like clearly very old, much older than everyone else.
Yeah. So aunt means mother or father's sister.
Yeah, so you would think that
sister.
You would think that they were that age.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like his mother's age.
She was pretty old.
Yeah,
it was weird, very weird.
Yeah,
but Jason Lee decides he's got to do what he's got to do.
Got to do what he's got to do,
and he hides underneath a pile of clothes on the bed.
Yeah, like a coat closet. Like I guess people were throwing their
you put their coats on a bed in a room, and he decides to go underneath it.
Yeah, can I point out there weren't that many people there to have that many
coats? There was a lot of coats. Yeah,
there was a lot of coats for maybe 8 people in that scene.
Oh yeah,
but Jason Lee hides himself.
He just buries himself, but his like feet are out, and like he even leaves the door open. How good is that? He leaves
the door open. Selma Blair walks past.
Yeah, and
she's weirded out because she's like, "Where have you?" Like, I was walking into this room, and what was he doing under those coats?
I don't remember his excuse.
He was sleeping.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, I was gonna surprise you by like popping out of the coats."
Oh yeah, then he fell asleep.
But I fell asleep because it was so warm. And she was like, "Oh." Like she she gives like a face of like that's weird, right? But she definitely accepted it.
Yeah, she's like, okay.
Yeah, like I think it's supposed to reference that she like is trusted. Like you're supposed to really like Selma Blair, I think, as a character.
Think so?
I think you're supposed to recognize that they're wrong for each other, but I don't think you're supposed to think she's a bad person.
Supposed to hate her.
Yeah. So I think they do a good job of making her be like, oh, I believe you, Jason Lee. Like because like the parents were very like you're such a every mother-in-law's dream. Like I think they make a very good job of being like Jason Lee was very like. Trusting and all this stuff, and I think you're supposed to be like Selma Blair was like trusting of him because no one would believe that excuse, and no rational person would hide under a bunch of coats. But you're right.
Right.
She finds him. They have that interaction where he explains what he's doing, and then who's walking up the stairs as they're walking out?
Randomly, just like I'm going to go upstairs now as Julia Stiles.
It's again Julia Stiles.
Yes. So Jason Lee decides to hide again.
And this time makes a little more sense.
Yeah.
Goes to the bathroom. And pretends to really have explosive diarrhea.
Yeah. The only way to go out.
Yeah.
Explosive diarrhea. And He does that for a while.
He does do that for a while.
And he tries to escape.
He tries to escape, sets off his father-in-law's Mercedes. His father-in-law's like, "Oh, that's a raccoon in the tree.
I'm gonna kill it."
Yeah, I'm gonna kill it. Let me grab my gun.
Yeah, wait, what? Okay.
Something's shaking my tree. Let me grab my
kill
gun. So Jason Lee has to jump back through the window and make a lot of weird flatulence noises, which really reminded me of American Pie.
Yeah, he made it with a shampoo bottle, which is very impressive.
Yeah. Like, he squirted it like as if it was mustard, and like, I don't know why this doesn't make sense to me, but like, when you squeeze, even when you get a brand new mustard, he squeezed a lot out of it. It only makes the sound at the very end and for like 1 second. He was making that like the entire time.
A massive fart
out of that bottle.
He was getting some high pitch where I was like,
he had a lot of fluctuation in tonality.
Yeah.
He had fireworks sounds.
Yeah. And you're like, what is that? Oh, this is my shampoo bottle. Thank you very much. And what about the plumbing? You're shoving shampoo down the toilet.
Yeah, he gave no regard. They had a very nice house.
Yeah, I guess it was his parents' house, I think.
It was his father-in-law's house. Yeah.
So they had a nice house.
It was Selma Blair's parents' house.
Yeah.
So it's like obvious that they're like a very wealthy family.
Yeah,
very, very
clearly,
wealthy.
His boss man.
Yeah.
Boss man.
Owns the company, I think.
So he's like, all right, we're good now. Everyone left. Time to get out of the bathroom. They go down the stairs. As they're going down the stairs, I forgot why she came back in.
She forgot her purse. Julia Stiles busts in as like Jason Lee and Selma Blair are walking down the stairs.
So Jason Lee tries to hide again.
Yeah, that was and he has like still leaves.
Tree branches on it. Yeah.
No
one said anything about that.
Yeah, like Selma Blair wasn't like, oh, you just used the bathroom. Why are you...
You're covered in leaves, bro. And dirt. Yeah, weirdo. Yeah, so they have to meet.
And it's very like, she plays it off. Like, you can tell very quickly that like, she's like trying to be nice or whatever. Maybe not like trying to be nice, but like, she's not like, we just had sex.
Yeah, she's not like, hey, you're the one I had sex with the other day.
Yeah.
What
like
up?
they hide it from Selma Blair.
Right. So that happens.
And then they talk for a second, and Selma Blair reveals that Julia Stiles has a job at the record store.
Right. So he's like, I know where to find her now.
Yeah.
He goes there. Right. That's what's happened next. Right.
Yeah.
He goes there to find her, and she tries to claim he's not cool enough for music.
She's like, you don't know good tunes, or you don't belong in this store.
The best part about all this is that this scene is irrelevant to the whole movie.
It really is. I think it's like one of the like, I guess you call it bantering or something, but like, I don't know. It was like cringy, but like, I think you're supposed to see that they're like, maybe there's something
chemistry,
there.
man.
Because like, she made this really weird comment. Like, you just realized that was your cousin. Mm-hmm. When they were looking through CDs, she was like, oh, you were amazing, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, she makes these really weird comments.
Was she serious?
Yeah, like, she's not like... I don't know if we're supposed to take that Julia Stiles is weird, or we're supposed to take that they just love each other.
Immediately.
Yeah,
like Ricky, I love you. Yeah, I don't understand.
Yeah, like it was like a weird scene, and she hands him a CD, and she's like, you're going to love this. Never mentioned.
We never
CD.
found out
what CD she handed him.
Never even knew what it was.
It was very weird.
But so at the time she reveals she had a boyfriend.
Yeah, she mentions like she had a crazy ex or something.
Yeah, Ray Donovan.
Is this also where he goes to do the laundry? Because like he does something else to make himself late.
Yes, it's laundry.
Yeah, he does some laundry for a little bit. There really wasn't a scene there.
It was weird. He was with his friend, the best friend.
Yeah, the best friend.
The clock was wrong, so he was late to his dance lessons. Selma Blair getting upset, right? And then that was that.
Yeah.
So then that was done.
Yeah.
It made no sense.
Yeah, it was just a really weird scene of like that you can tell that they're not right for each other again.
Yeah.
He's late. She's like kind of upset, but like justifiably, because she's 45 minutes late for a dance class, presumably that only lasts an hour. I don't know what kind of dance class lasts like.
I don't know. 30-hour dance lesson.
But like they also dance really poorly, but he dances amazing with the instructor. It was a very.
I guess I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah.
It's very blatant. non-matching of people. Right?
Yeah, it was
No.
like Discount Rob Renier was
Definitely.
Yeah.
Robert Near Jason.
Yeah,
Like,
he
that was
was-
weird. You couldn't splurge for him. You couldn't
Yeah.
get him. You just got to get a lookalike. Why would he even try?
you have like a bunch of A-listers and
Yeah,
then suddenly
yeah,
not
like,
Rob Renier.
We're out of money, boys. We're done here.
Um,
Yeah, and then I guess they go grocery shopping on the way home or
They
something.
go grocery shopping.
Well, there's a little bit of there's a scene or two, like one scene before of her crazy ex Ray.
Yeah, you
And
find out
then-
he's a cop.
He's a cop. He's a
Yeah.
he's a dirty cop.
Yeah, and he's like,
So he's a regular cop.
yeah,
And so he's in the interrogation room beating this guy up,
yeah,
and then for no reason.
yeah. Oh yeah, they were like, he stole a donut. And he's
Yeah,
like,
he
that's
stole
where
a
it
donut
starts."
and he beats his ass.
Yeah.
The best part, it's played by that. I love that actor, dude. He's so stupid.
He's in like a lot of that, like, yeah.
Night at the Roxbury. He's
Yeah.
the guy's like, guys, triple gator bar. He's like, yeah, bro. And then just
Yeah.
at the gym, whatever. And it was like, who is this guy?
Yeah, who is this guy? He got a lot of roles doing like that, like,
that doofy
Yeah.
shtick.
Yeah.
So he's like leaving the police department. Some guy goes up to him like, "Hey man, we got your PI or whatever," and he gives him like an envelope of pictures.
yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, this is interesting." And
Yeah,
I guess
he's like, "This sucks."
we already kind of assumed that it's Jason Lee and
Julia
Julia
Stiles.
Stiles. Like
Yeah.
it was pretty obvious.
yeah.
So they get their lawn. They're back to the scene at hand.
Yeah,
They're
they
coming-
leave place to get grocery
grocery store. They're
Yeah.
coming home. She's like, "I'm gonna go look for some in the park. You go ahead and grab the bags and head
Yeah.
in." And he goes to head in, and he runs into, lo and behold,
The crazy ex with the pictures.
right. And he said, "You fucking my ex," and he starts beating him up.
He beats his ass. And like beats his ass by like kind of like, bro, Jason Lee, have some respect for
He
yourself.
was like smashing eggs on
He
his
was like
head
he
and dumping him with
poured
chocolate
milk on him
Yeah.
and like he made him like jump in a dumpster. Like he like straight up was like jump in that dumpster. And Jason Lee was like, okay. So he jumps in the dumpster. The guy throws the photos in
yeah,
there.
he's like, "I guess I will."
The only reason why apparently he leaves though is he gets a page to, presumably, cop things. He makes him jump in the dumpster, kicks it down the stairs, or excuse me, not kicks it down the stairs, kicks it down some hill.
Yeah,
Point of the matter, Selma Blair comes up to Jason Lee, crawling out of the dumpster, getting like, he got his ass like beat.
right.
Yeah, embarrassed. The only part of that scene I want to reference, I really want to mention this because he had no respect for himself. Like, I'm not a fighter, but like there were some lines crossed that like, okay, I would have some respect for myself here.
Which lines?
All right, I would have taken that first shot and have been like, oh god, we got to talk about this. This dude is like flying off the hand. Like I wouldn't
Yeah.
immediately fight this guy
Yeah.
back. But like when he put the egg
Crushed
on
egg
his
on
head,
his
yeah,
head.
and he opened the milk
Did
and
he stick
poured
a
the.
Cheeto up his nose?
I forgot about that. The first thing he did was he was like, "These terrible snacks."
He's like,
You
"These
would-
sugary snacks," and
Yeah.
he takes a Cheeto.
Yes, he says these sugary snacks. Takes a Cheeto,
Shoves it
the
up
most sugary, snack,
Yeah, the most of sugary.
and shoves it up his nose. That's probably where I would have respect. But like
Draw the
Jason,
line at
yeah,
Cheeto nose.
Jason Lee was like, "All right, that's fine." Egg on head. Jason Lee is like, "That's
Double
fine."
egg on head.
Yeah,
Chocolate
milk poured on him.
Milk on him.
That's all right.
Dumpster.
And then-
I'll
yeah.
get right in it.
He makes him stand up, walks him to the dumpster, jump in that dumpster. I gotta be honest with you. Like, if a dude like that guy, I would have had respect for myself with a Cheeto up my nose. A guy like The Rock, the only time I would have respect for myself is when he's
Yeah.
like jump in the dumpster. I'd be like, I can't do that. You're gonna have to.
Can you help me?
Yeah, you're gonna have to throw me in
Yeah.
there because
Yeah,
like
dude, I
I'm not
really
going
can't-
out like that,
I
dude.
can't climb. Can you just give me a boost?
Yeah.
So I can jump in here.
Yeah, like this dude was like embarrassing himself, but
Yeah, but I
you're
guess
supposed to take his
he's supposed to be
pathetic.
a good
maybe?
guy.
Yeah,
He's a good guy.
yeah, he's a really good guy.
Really good guy. So
Um,
Selma Blair finds him, and then they report to the cops.
Yeah,
And there's just like there's a side plot. I don't even know if you really want to get into it, but it's just like he makes up this random like really bad
yeah.
sketch.
Like the only part of that scene that's relevant is like he makes this really weird like a person like that wouldn't exist.
Yeah,
You would
yeah.
you would think maybe.
With what he said.
Yeah, like just makes up a lot of weird like discerning marks and like oh he had like a scar, et cetera, gold tooth, blah blah blah.
Yeah, everything like
Um,
most really crazy.
Yeah, like you're not supposed to think this person exists. So he's like, oh, that's the end of it.
Yeah.
But during that like part with the police, some kid opens
he finds
the
garage.
dumpster.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, what's in here?" And then
Yeah.
he fucking is like happy as shit. 'cause
Yeah, he
found-
finds the photos that the
Oh, is that supposed to be that guy's son?
yeah. That's what the
Oh
point
my.
of that was. So like that kid was like walking the dog and for some reason was like, let me look in this dumpster, sees what I presume is pornography.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I saw a chubby kid open a dumpster of groceries. And I thought
you just thought he was eating the groceries?
I thought he was excited
to find the
to find
groceries?
the groceries, dude.
Dude, that guy saw the photos.
Oh, God, no. Now I know.
Yeah, so like that's why, like, all right. So the neighbor once again knocks on the door. So after the police leave, the neighbor knocks on the door and like has these photos,
Right?
And has this weird interaction with Jason Lee, where you find out he's a minister,
Right?
And his son was the one that found these photos. Slaps it on his chest, says, "Listen, keep your pornography out of here." When Selma Blair walks out,
right? Just in time. Just
in time, right as Jason Lee is like, "Oh God, I'm holding these photos," stuffs it down his pants.
Mm-hmm.
Stuffs it down his pants.
What else would you do?
Here's the weird part for me. We just saw that this guy's a minister, man of the Lord, which
man of the cloth.
Yeah, means a lot to some people. But you would presume that this guy's supposed to be like really good.
Yeah.
Selma Blair walks out, not the woman in those photos.
Right.
Not the woman you just saw leave this guy's apartment.
Like a day ago.
Yeah, and says like, "This is my fiance."
He says you move really fast.
Yeah, he literally says you move fast, and then said like when she says, "What did that mean?" They're like, "Haha, nothing."
Silly
and, like,
man.
yeah, and like the guy doesn't say like, "Fiance, huh?"
Yeah.
That's weird.
She's not the girl in these photos.
Yeah.
These pornographies.
He says you move fast and like looks at his crotch.
Yeah.
And that's how he like.
I guess it's like they're okay. So I will say, for better or worse, mostly worse.
Yeah.
I think the whole underlying theme of it is the title of the movie.
It's a guy thing
It's a guy
but you look. We're gonna get to the end of this where I mentioned my feelings, but like. That is kind of the point that they keep reinforcing is like it's a guy thing where like all the guys,
right?
You would even
the minister,
even the brother that he called the moment that's in love with Selma Blair,
right?
Yeah, like all of these things, and it's just like they all like they might like hint like the minister. I think is trying to hint, but like doesn't.
Well, it's mostly like it's like the minister's like making him.
Uncomfortable
and feel bad about what he's done, but he's not.
He's not gonna say like, yeah. So like that really is another part of that movie where like you get that like, okay, it's a guy thing.
It's a guy thing. It's a cozy thing.
Yeah. So they go back inside.
Yeah, and then Selma Blair finds the.
Selma Blair. No, I don't think this is where she finds it yet. Is it?
I think it is. I think actually she found it before he got the pictures.
No.
What happens?
The call from Miss Julia Stiles.
Was that then?
Yeah, because he has the. Well, okay. My apologies. Here's what happens. I do remember this scene because they reinforce this once again. They walk in. They have this conversation about the priest. He goes to the bathroom to try to get rid of them. Mm-hmm. What does he do to get rid of the photos?
See, no, because he did that. She already found the underwear, and then I was like, he's gonna put these in there again.
Oh, you're right. Yep. You're right.
So she finds the underwear.
Yep.
Your point is so Selma Blair found the underwear.
She found the underwear that he hid.
But what you're saying is he went to go hide these photos in the fucking toilet tank.
The same place
that Selma Blair had found the underwear.
Yeah. He opened.
Yeah.
What an idiot.
Yeah. So she finds his underwear and it's dripping wet, and she's like, "What is this?" And he's like, "I was gonna get these. I bought you these for your gift." And she's just like, "What?"
Yeah.
And like she's like, "No way, this is bullshit. You're a liar." And then
he like has this really elaborate, really weird story. Like she's like, these have no tags on them.
Yeah.
Like these aren't in a box. And he's like, it was in a bin. And she was like, "Oh my God, these are used." And he was like, "Oh, they have used panties in the panty bin."
How dare they fuckers.
And then she was like, "Where do they have panty bins?" And he was like, "I guess the equivalent of Walmart. Like it's something called like Spend Right or Spendmart. Excuse me. Yeah. Like some discount store." Mm-hmm. And like again, remember that Selma Blair is this really rich woman. And like you know, when she brought him this sweater, it came from Nordstrom.
Yeah. Just
so she's holding these dirty underwear and she's like, "All right, I'm going to call Spend Right."
Yeah. So she calls the dude.
Yeah, she calls Sven, right?
Some cashier dude answers.
Yeah.
She tells him this scenario. She's like, my husband, or no, my boyfriend, fiance found these underwear in one of your underwear bins, and it's actually dirty.
Yeah.
And you have anything to say about this? And
Yeah.
stuff. And the guy's just like,
and then
he's like, man, some people have been playing pranks on us.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. We can bring it in and get a refund, or we can get you a fresh pair.
And she's just like, oh, and hangs up.
Right. So he basically bought into the story immediately.
He lies immediately.
And, and then like the customer looks at him and is like, what the hell is that about? What bins are you? She's like, what underwear bins? And
she's like, underwear bins?
Yeah.
And one of my favorite things in movies is when you finally say the movie title.
Yeah.
And this is the time they finally say the movie title, when she's like, underwear bins? And all I said was,
it's a guy thing.
It's a guy thing. And then some old lady,
fuck you, basically.
Yeah, just like yells, fuck you.
She said what she said.
She said bullshit.
Bullshit.
Yeah. She just immediately like
I'm not gonna lie to you though, the scene would have been better if they cut that.
Like that's it was funny. That was one of my favorite scenes.
You're like, oh, okay. And then like she's bullshit.
That kind of killed it.
Yeah,
it was just weird.
You're like, cut 5 seconds before, it'd been fine.
The only thing I think it was supposed to say was like, oh, some people kind of catch that these things aren't.
Yeah.
That's not
real.
Yeah.
So she buys the story.
Yeah, she buys this story and she loves these bargain
used underwear.
Yeah, bargain used underwear. Jason Lee's like, whoa.
So yeah, then this is all one night.
Yeah, this is all in one night.
Stiles calls him
from a bar. Where she's working. I think this is her third job we've seen her work.
This is her third.
This movie apparently gets job. This is when the economy ruled. Apparently,
yeah, you're getting jobs every day.
Yeah, you just get a new job whenever you feel. Sometimes it's 2 in a day.
You can start the day of. Yeah.
So she's working some bar. Calls Jason Lee and is like, "Hey, I have a psycho ex-boyfriend. He has pictures of us, banging. We should steal them. Or he works tonight.
Yeah,
we should steal the negatives.
Right."
What kind of photos was this? Like, was the negatives, bro? It looked like Polaroids.
Yeah, they were like regular ass. Yeah, right. Dark room.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. Jesus, man. He's got a professional camera. So they decide to go fucking break in, and they're having like.
Yeah, this is the part you were talking about where the one night of like.
Yeah.
Relationship building of like frivolity.
They just hang out and they drive over a couple hills and he takes a jump and he's like, "This is awesome."
Yeah, take a risk.
Take a risk, Jason Lee. And so like they go break into this dude's house and he has a dog.
He has a dog. Sleep.
He's kind of mean. So they run to the bathroom and hide in the shower for a couple hours.
Apparently. A couple of hours,
apparently. Yes. And then they decide, then and there, the plan to escape was to just like distract the dog.
Yeah, like the plan was to open one. It was the 2 glass sliding doors.
Yeah.
The plan was to. Thankfully, it was a glass door thing because they didn't close the bathroom door. They immediately jumped in the shower. I just want to talk about that real fast.
Yeah.
That was annoying because I was like, no one would immediately be like, "Don't close this door." Like that's that's what I would close.
Yeah, that was literally what I would close. Yeah. I don't understand.
But they get into the shower, which is a 2 glass sliding door. They have that 2 hours of whatever. And their plan to get out was Julia Stiles says, "I'm going to open this at one time."
And you open that.
At the same time. And right when the dog jumps in, we jump out.
Yep.
And then we just close it.
And we close it. Simples.
And you know what? It worked.
It fucking worked. Logic be damned.
Logic. It was very weird. And then there was the fire escape part where they're escaping the apartment and she runs down a bunch of steps.
Yeah, but then all of a sudden
stops.
She's got
phobia. Fear of heights.
Yeah, the word fear of heights. Yeah. She's got fear of heights.
What is that called? Were you trying to think of that actual word?
I was trying to think of the actual word. I don't know what's
DM us on Jen and Sofa Pod and tell us what that word is. I actually don't know.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, but like they get there and like
he helps her down.
Oh, instead of just going first. Like it's one of those walk down the stairs and they come down. Instead of doing that, he just grabs her and helps her walk. It was very weird.
I don't even think he grabbed her. He just kind of.
He was like,
"I'm
do it.
I'm here. You'll figure it out."
Yeah, so they escape.
He drops her off. They do a couple more jumps.
Do a couple more sick jumps.
Yeah, he's living life right now.
Yeah.
And Drops her off, and I think the next like scene is pretty much like the rehearsal dinner.
Yeah, it's something.
Oh yeah, because he no. He's driving home and gets pulled over.
Yeah, he gets pulled over by the cop, the boyfriend.
Yeah.
Who gives him like who plants evidence on him, and keeps him locked. Like you have to go through interrogation. I think he can be kept 24 hours, whatever. Some detectives are like interviewing for 24 hours straight.
Right.
So he's super tired, and then like internal affairs walks in and is like, "Hey, you guys are done. Get the fuck out." And they're like, "Hey, we believe you. We need you to help us like nail this guy."
So they wire his ass.
Yeah, they wire him, and like the only scene that was really weird was like the part of that was really funny, or not weird but funny to me, is like the weird cop was like, "I don't give a fuck about what you want."
Yeah.
It was like, it's what we need.
Yeah.
It was very weird, and he gets to his apartment and falls asleep.
Yeah, in his car.
In the car, falls asleep, wakes up to that same photo kid knocking his door or window, realizes he overslept. The rehearsal dinner is apparently like already happened. Or like the rehearsals happened. The rehearsal dinner is like in full swing. He's late.
Oh yeah, he missed the rehearsal. That's the dinner part. He missed the whole thing.
His brother, who's in love with him, stood loving with her.
Interesting.
Yeah. Interesting. Keep that in mind.
Interesting.
So they get to this dinner, and lo and behold, one callback, the food is amazing.
Yeah, the pharmacist guy made great food.
Apparently made like such amazing food, and like for some reason still felt the need to say like, oh, in case this gravy's bad, and laces the gravy with marijuana.
Yeah, classic stoner boner.
Yeah,
humor.
Stoner boner. I feel like every '90s movie has to have a scene where it's like, hey, we have to appeal to the stoners.
Let's get all the old people high.
Yeah,
that'll be funny. Cool.
Yeah.
So anyway, all the old people. It was just the old people too.
Yeah, it was just the old people that were especially acting very weird. The lawyer gives this like, or his brother gives this. Who is a lawyer? Sorry, his brother gives this weird speech.
Yeah, well, it's pretty much just showing.
Yeah, that how much he loves Selma Blair.
I already knew.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's like, yeah, I actually really love her.
Yeah,
he's pointing out things about her.
Yeah, and they were like, he was like up until this point, I thought it was like this unrequited love, but like as he was telling the story, I think they were showing that it was like both of them really. Because she was like doing that weird, like, thank you for remembering, and like, oh, while Jason Lee was like, this is fucking weird.
Yeah, like, you remember this shit, dude?
Yeah, and he's like, she was so pretty.
She wore this dress, and we listened to this song.
It was like Islands in the Stream.
Yeah.
And they were like, wow. And she like, Jason Lee walks off to talk to his mom, have this heart to heart about like, hey, do you love who you're with?
Yeah,
like,
my stepdad or whatever. Yeah. You love my stepdad. Buck. Who's played by Champ. Well, whatever, Dave Cockner or whatever.
Yeah.
So you know what kind of character that is. I don't know.
Like his shtick is in full force as well.
He's just literally himself.
Yeah.
So she's like, yeah, of course I do.
He lets me be myself. Yeah. And I think the only part of that scene that's really important to me is when they're like, I think they're supposed to show you that like, oh, someone that doesn't feel safe is supposed to, like, because they're like, she's normal. She's that classic. She's the same mom. She plays that same character.
Yeah. What about Bob?
Yeah.
She's the same mom.
Just Friends. She's the mom in Just Friends. She plays that same mom. So like, anyway, she's like the safe mom, the classic mom. And like his character's very like John Wayne, and cowboy hats and stuff. And he gets home, and who's in his apartment?
Oh yeah, Ray.
Yeah, the ex-boyfriend.
Which conveniently he's wired for this guy.
Yeah, he's wired.
So Ray's there eating a sandwich.
Yeah, he's eating a sandwich. he walks in, and like they have this weird, like
conversation.
Yeah, where he's like, I'm planting evidence on you.
Well, yeah, he's got like I'm in a chokehold too, right? And he's like, first of all, he's like, all right, he's like, yeah, I'm putting evidence on you, but I can do whatever I want. I can do all this.
I do this all the time.
Yeah, I'm gonna explain everything I've done wrong and illegally, and then he like puts him in a chokehold while he's eating his sandwich.
And like I think part of it too is like, why did it take so? Like, what evidence did they still need at that point?
Oh yeah, like what were they waiting on? He's just
Yeah, he's still in a chokehold for a long time.
He's just sitting there. He almost ate the whole sandwich by the time the cops got up there.
I thought they were doing him a service, and we're like, all right, bro, we know how good that must be.
We wanted to let him finish his meal, and then we'll take him out. So then the cops bust in and they like fucking arrest him, which I thought there was going to be some resolution on that, and that was it.
Yeah, that's the last you see of that like plot line.
He is in jail.
Yeah, he just immediately gets taken. They asked for the tape, and this is something you pointed out. I didn't even think about this. He
took the tape out of them. Yeah, why didn't they just take the equipment? They just took the tape out of it. And he like left the recording equipment on his fucking chest.
He sits back down to like fall asleep or like be like, oh, it's all
so
done.
Tired,
and he's still got like the microphone
he's got
strapped
everything all over him, man.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I don't know. Keep it for later when they need him.
Yeah, it is very weird.
It's very weird. I think it's wedding time.
I think it is. Like they cut to like the brother and the putting on the suit or putting on the tux.
Yeah, in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's just really like someone says like, why do you seem so nervous? His brother says, why do you seem so nervous?
Man, this is a big day, you know?
Mm-hmm. And he says, why do you seem so nervous? And he's like, bro, and he lists off every bad thing. Which he's
already told him.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so like, why do you have to
tell him again? Yeah,
but he literally
I need to give a recap of the movie in case you weren't paying attention.
Literally gives the recap of the movie, like says like I did this and this happened and this and this, like tells every lie, you know, like
right.
You essentially are like I almost wanted him to be like, yeah, but like you told me that already.
Yeah, but like why are we talking about this stuff?
Yeah,
and so like he's like, no, don't worry about it, it'll be fine. And then he's like, I also forgot the band.
Yeah.
Which, whatever. I feel like that was also a stupid throwaway.
Yeah, that felt like a nothing. Like I think they just needed filler or something.
There was no repercussions for that other band showing up from the beginning. You know, like there was nothing. But whatever. They didn't dance.
Yeah,
they didn't get to the dance.
The band was just for that weird walk up, and I think it was just one last reinforcement. But
he tells him. Yeah,
he tells him all the stuff, and then the brother walks out to take care of the band thing. Mm-hmm. Who walks out of the bathroom?
I told you right before.
He's like, someone else is in the bathroom.
I was like, man, there's too many stalls that are shut.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's Papa Selma Blair.
Yeah, Papa Selma Blair. His boss, his future father-in-law
walks out.
And he's like,
everything he said.
Yeah. And
he heard the recap of the movie.
He heard the recap of the movie, and he's like, Jason Lee is like, oh man, like, I'm sorry, like, you know, he starts trying to do this.
I didn't really do anything with her. You know,
yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. Well, we didn't really say it, but like when Julia Stiles was like, "You're amazing."
Oh, she's like, we didn't really sleep together.
10 seconds later, we didn't sleep together.
Yeah. The only part that I didn't want to bring that up is because like I thought the photos were them sleeping together. Like why else would he get?
And I thought like maybe they were just like making out.
Why would you get like he got so upset?
Yeah, he threw him in a dumpster. Walking into his apartment.
Yeah, you know, like it was very weird. So like to the point where I was like, oh, I think she was trying to make him still be the good guy. Like, oh, you didn't actually have sex with me. Yeah,
but they did. You know.
Yeah. Like I thought she was trying to do him a solid.
Maybe.
Like I thought he looked at the photos and was like, oh, I guess I did have, because he had a reaction to the photos that was almost you're shocked, but like, oh god, I guess I did have sex with.
He got full penetration.
Yeah, full penetration.
So he's
So the Papa.
But Papa Blair. Papa Blair goes, yeah, but you'll treat my daughter right, so it's all good.
So he's like, I'm looking the other way.
Once again, it's a guy thing.
Yeah, it's a guy thing. And it's like, so every guy that you would think like, oh, but the dad would like.
Yeah, he has to be.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And like the minister is up there.
Oh, yeah. So the minister was at the rehearsal dinner and got sick, apparently.
Yeah, the other minister got sick. So a new minister fills in. Who is it?
The neighbor.
The neighbor. So he knows.
He knows everything.
He knows everything. He could stop this wedding right now.
Right.
But it's a guy thing.
It's a guy thing. He can't stop it, but he definitely asked.
Yeah.
He goes to the part where he's like, anyone speaker now forever hold your peace, which is funny that you mentioned that. Does anyone ever do that in real life?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think it's really a thing.
I think... Like, I can't imagine ever.
Okay, first of all, I don't know if it's really a thing. And second of all, how could you be that person?
Do people ever even ask?
I don't know. And also, like, how could you be the person that stands up and says, I do?
Yeah.
I smashed your wife, you know, or something like that.
Yeah.
And you're like,
I'm in love with your wife.
I love her, dude. I love her, man. Shut up, Norm.
But Jason Lee does the honorable thing.
Yeah. He's like, I can't go through
Yeah,
this.
he's like, I can't do it, and he's like, I've done a lot. He doesn't like admit to anything
he doesn't have a recap of the
necessarily.
movie.
Yeah, he only recaps the movie when it's safe, but he does say like, I've done a lot of things I'm not proud of this week,
Yeah.
and you know, I think I realized that like we're not right for each other. It's all about taking risks, and he was like, that was like a bold, like that was my riskiest thing I've ever said, or something like that.
Like he sees life now.
Yeah. He's like, I can't do this, and
He realizes they're not right for each other.
yeah, and did it happen immediately where like the guy, his brother, is like, hey, do you mind if?
Yeah, because he was like she was like looked at him. He's like, you're perfect, this and that, but we're just not right for each other. And then you just like hear in the background like,
Oh yeah,
that, like,
he does
the
that like
song.
Islands in the Stream thing. Where
yeah,
it's like,
and then everyone's like, what was that? And he looks at him like he looks at his brother and he's like, what was that?
he's like,
and he looks at him and is like, what? And he's just
Yeah.
like, and then he starts walking up to her.
and he does the like the only way you can get away with that scene is being that character,
Or
that guy.
actor.
Yeah,
That
like
actor, yeah.
like he intentionally does it cringy, like to the point where I felt so uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he does it. He sings that like Islands in a Stream really badly.
Yeah, which is funny because he kind of sung a verse at the dinner the night before, or
And it
whatever,
was good.
and it was good.
Yeah, like they did like this harmony kind of thing.
yeah,
and
like
they
he
just-
sung
yeah.
it well, and then this time it was just like, whoa.
Yeah, it was like
I was like,
maybe it was like really emotional.
Yeah, maybe you
I
get
didn't-
drunk before you
Yeah.
sing, bud, because it was rough.
Yeah,
But,
and
yeah.
she just says okay.
She was like, "I've been waiting for this," and then just she just says, "Okay." Like she's like, "Fuck yeah, let's go." And what
Yeah.
was that of her own wedding? Like there was no crying, there was no anger.
yeah, there was.
Literally 30 seconds to a minute, she was about to be from married to Jason Lee, and now she's running down out of the building with with his brother.
Yeah, it
Wild ride there.
and like it was. Like she's like they don't kiss, which I think is good. I think it would have been weird if
it'd be
they
even
like
weirder kissing right
yeah,
there.
like right, and
Oh, for
especially
sure.
yeah.
With Jason Lee standing right there.
Which I'm glad I thought they were gonna go super unrealistic right there and
Yeah.
like have like a okay, we get it, they're gonna be
We get
together.
it, they like it.
Yeah, but like they just leave. And everyone's
Yeah.
like, okay.
I guess we'll leave the wedding too.
Yeah.
Everyone just leaves.
So everyone
And then
leaves
like everyone's leaving, and like Julia Stiles is there for like a minute,
and decides
and then she
to leave.
decides to roll out.
Yeah, and it's weird because like you see the moment or you see these moments of like Jason Lee and Julia stuff. Like you can tell like he's
Yeah.
saying all this stuff because he's like, hey,
No,
I
yeah,
really
because
like
he looks
you.
at her after he makes his speech.
Yeah, and he's
at-
like,
at the
that was the
altar.
risk. Yeah, you know, he like
Yeah.
you could tell that it was supposed to be like a I want you thing.
It was
But
because of you.
yeah,
And then she said, "All right, I'm gonna leave."
she's like, she gets in a cab.
Yeah. All right, time to get out of here.
And the cab.
The cab's going like 5 miles an hour
Yeah.
because Jason Lee runs after it.
Yeah, like for like it felt like a long scene for no reason. Like
it's pretty
Jason
long.
Lee
He's
was
like,
like,
"Hey,
run, yeah, for like
hey."
it was like a minute long scene of just Jason Lee running in like the
Yeah.
rear view mirror.
Yeah. I don't know.
They
But this
finally
guy's going
stop.
slow enough to where he catches up to him.
Yeah, they stop because he's like, "Did you leave somebody behind?"
Because they got a taxi.
Yeah, they stop and she gets out
Yep.
and she's just like, I can't remember her excuse. I really remember her saying, "I was gonna wait for
She
you,"
said I was
but
gonna wait, but
and then I remember
Yeah.
like tuning out because I was like, no excuse would be worthy of.
yeah,
Leaving.
She was like, I was gonna wait, but YOLO, I think.
Yeah, she was like, but I didn't really want you to
If
break up
wish
your wedding.
everybody-
Yeah.
yeah. I was like, what? Okay.
Yeah,
so
but like
then he kisses her.
he kisses her and they get in the
They get
cab
in the
and
cab,
that's it.
and the driver's.
Oh yeah, the driver's this weird albino.
He's literally the guy that Jason
Yeah,
Lee
which,
described, which is a weird thing.
yeah, which has a lot of like idiosyncrasies, like being an albino person, being like a tattoo on your left, something, you know, like
Tattoo
a
on,
lot of
his left neck with the scar above his right.
yeah,
eye,
red
gold tooth.
dreadlocks,
Yeah,
gold. You know, it was like all these things that you're supposed to not think make
Yeah,
one person. Yeah,
and then there, yeah,
yeah, they're all there.
That was
and
it.
Yeah,
That was like,
it was like
the last like joke.
yeah, and it was like bye.
Bye, and that's the scene.
That's the end of the movie.
Finn.
What do you think?
So
We already kind of alluded to our overall thoughts.
we did, and I'll say a few things about the endings of these movies. It was almost pretty much a typical rom com, I'd say.
Yeah. typical
They always
Jason
do this.
Lee
They always do this
rom-com.
shit where they were just like he gets in the cab with her and they drive off and then that's the fucking movie, right?
You're just supposed to like fill in the
Yeah, like I guess they live happy ever after and do whatever, or like his brother and Selma Blair. Like, do they ever talk at like family reunions down the road?
Hey,
you know,
we all have this weird situation.
Yeah, exactly. You know, they just go off and you're just like assume everything's good, and you have no idea what happens. But that's just like you just end it, I guess.
Yeah, it's
Because if not, you're just dragging it on.
it is. It does seem like almost unsatisfying ending. Like you're supposed to just assume everyone ends up happy, but like
Yeah.
I feel like later movies started to do that. Like have a shorter film, like get rid of one or two random scenes that like
Yeah.
didn't really add to
And then
anything.
you get the 5-year
Yeah, like
futures scene.
it literally will say 5 years later, and you get like one last scene to be like, oh, maybe
a
they
joke.
don't end up together, or like maybe they
Yeah.
do, and they find out they
Right.
like. I know you hate Jennifer Aniston almost as much. Do you as an actress?
Yeah.
As almost as much as Julia Stiles as an actress. But have you ever seen the movie The Breakup?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
You know how their ending was, where they like meet, but they don't
Mm-hmm.
end up together.
Right.
I like endings like that, and I
More
imagine
realistic endings.
yeah, I imagine Julia Stiles and Jason Lee ended up that way. Selma Blair and that guy definitely got married.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they definitely
Yeah.
ran off. But I feel like him and Julia Stiles could have been like, she's like, it was like a one night stand, bro.
Yeah, like that's also the weird part. Was like it almost felt to me like Julia Stiles was like one of those people that like is kind of more like
Just
Yeah,
sexually
whatever.
liberal, whatever.
Yeah.
or loose, like
Yeah.
relaxed.
yeah, just like she. It seems weird to me that like a guy that was about to
That's
get
what it's
married,
supposed to be about, Chris. He's changing. He's growing. He's expanding
yeah.
his.
He's being himself.
He's being himself. So I think overall, though,
It seems
I give it 2
short-sighted of him.
cocktails. Give it 2 to 3 cocktails.
2 to 3. I give it 1 cocktail.
Wow.
I would only need 1 cocktail.
You
to
really
enjoy
like
this.
this movie.
Yeah, it's not a zero. It's not a blank man zero cocktailer.
Not a Blank Man Zero. It's not. What about Time Cop? You know.
Yeah, it's a 1 cocktail movie. I like it. I think it was great. I think it was about as unproblematic as a movie like that could be. Because the premise itself you could consider as problematic. At every single turn, the own father of the bride.
like a guy thing.
Yeah, like apparently in this scenario, in this universe, a guy thing like this rule trumps like family and religion and
Right. Everything.
yeah, and it just like I think that's a we're not a political podcast or anything, but like I think that's a toxic thing to like put out into the world because it makes
Right.
people think that that's a thing that exists.
Right. And I guess one thing you never really got the resolution like we said about what happened between the two, Julia Stiles and
Yeah.
because like you said, you're supposed to think that this guy's a good guy, and we're supposed to I think at the end of the movie still think that he's a good guy
Yeah.
and that he didn't do anything wrong,
Yeah.
but we don't know.
We don't.
There is insinuations that he did,
Yeah.
but it's a guy thing, I guess.
Yeah.
And you're right. It makes it very weird.
Yeah. Like
Of, a concept of like, hey man, no matter what, everyone's happy because they ended up where they wanted to end up.
yeah, and it like that just really isn't what happens in
Right.
life.
It's not realistic. It's not like, hey man, I know you did something really off the wall.
Yeah,
kind of
and-
wrong.
yeah,
pretty
and
wrong.
pretty shitty.
Because like, yeah, pretty shitty. But you know what? Your fiance now is with the guy that she wanted,
yeah, like
and
she
now you're with
really
the girl that
wanted-
you're
yeah.
meant to be, and you're like, that's not how it works, man.
It also like there's like certain things that are very weird to me, and like I know you can only do this in movies, but like no sane human,
Hmm.
no brother, like if someone were to break up at the altar,
Right?
would just be like, hey,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, just slide
timing,
in.
bro.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, timing, man. Wait till the end. Wait till it's over, man.
Yeah,
You know,
like-
at least get her out in the parking lot.
I know they probably have to do that A for comedy, but B for like
B for the timing.
yeah, timing,
We're gonna
but
make another
like-
scene. Yeah,
like even I think even any scenario like that would just be it's too weird a scenario.
Mhm.
You know, I don't have siblings, so I can't imagine. You do, like
Oh, it's weird.
Yeah, I
it's
can't
weird.
imagine like
No.
for someone even you imagine that like Selma Blair and this guy were about to be married. They've probably been together intimately and probably for a while. She seemed like a very traditional person.
Right.
So it's like that is weird.
It was very weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very weird to be like, let me get in that real
Yeah,
quick. You know,
like-
but like, yeah. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
two cocktails, 2 to 3, 2.5 maybe.
2.5. Okay.
I think because
respect
I
it.
think some of it was kind of the jokes didn't land. Some of it was
Yeah.
kind of old school jokes. I'd say like
You also need one extra one for the Julia Stiles
and
factor.
Yeah, there's one already for Julia Stiles' face being in the movie, and then the other one, and but then Jason Lee takes away half of one. I got an equation going.
Yeah,
but overall, I did not hate it, and I wasn't like turned off before the end, so that's good.
Was it worth? Apparently, we need to mention these kind of things. Was it worth the $3.99 rental? Do you think?
No.
No. Would you have? Was it worth a stream? But you would not have paid.
It was worth a stream.
Okay.
If it was on so it's on what, Cinemax?
Cinemax. If you have Cinemax, you can watch it for free.
And if you want to watch it $4, it's $4, dude.
Yeah.
It's like,
and that's
Red
apparently
Bulls.
the HD version, so you could probably get it.
2002 HD.
Yeah.
But it's like that's like 2 Red Bulls. You'd be fine.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I'm glad. Well, it's easy for me to say when it was you that rented it, but I'm glad to have seen it. So like, I probably wouldn't have been like mad if I rented it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I also would have been like, I guess there's probably better ways to spend $5 maybe.
I mean, it's $5 though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that bad. I think if it was more than that, it'd be a bigger issue.
Yeah.
Like, oh, geez, like watch this shit.
Like if you bought it and it was like $15 or something.
That's different. I think I'd be really upset at myself.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you have it. 2 to 3. So we'll say 2.5 cocktails.
2.5
or 1
for me,
cocktail. Let us know what you think if you guys end up checking it out.
Check it out, man. Let us know.
All right, degenerates. That's all the time we had today. We hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like or follow us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, or really wherever you get your podcasts. And you can always reach out to us on Instagram or DM. Just look up Gin and Sofa Pod. Gin and Sofa, out.